So basically, there's this king named Darius, and he chose 120 satraps to rule throughout the kingdom, with 3 administrators over them. One of them was named Daniel. Now, the satraps were made accountable so that the king wouldn't get blamed if things were messed up. This guy named Daniel was so good compared to everybody else that the king planned to make him an administrator over the administrators. The satraps and the administrators didn't like this, so they tried to find dirt against Daniel, but they couldn't. He was just a good guy. Finally, they all came together and said, "We will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel, unless it has something to do with the law of his God." Now Daniel loved his God, and there's a whole lot of stories about how much he loved his God. These administrators and these satraps went as a group to the king and said, "May King Darius live forever. The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to any god or human during the next 30 days, except to you, your majesty, shall be thrown into the lion's den. Now, your majesty, issue the decree and put it into writing so that it cannot be altered, in ordinance with the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be repealed." So King Darius liked this, but when Daniel heard about this, he didn't care.
What'd you say? I just want to know what you said. What did you say? I don't care!
He went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened towards Jerusalem. 3 times a day he'd get on his knees and pray, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before.
Don't care, still don't care.
The satraps and the administrators knew this, though. They went to his house and caught him. They went to the king and spoke to him. "Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anybody who prays to any god or human being except you, your majesty, would be thrown into the lion's den?" And the king answered, "Yeah, of course I did. You were there." So they said to the king, "Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, your majesty, or the decree you put into writing. He still prays 3 times a day." Now when the king heard this, he was really upset. He stayed up all night trying to come up with an idea of how to save Daniel. But he couldn't, and the group knew this. "Remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues can be changed." So the king gave the order, and they had to bring Daniel and throw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." And a stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and the rings of the nobles. The king returned to his palace and spent the night without eating and without any entertainment being brought to him, and he could not sleep. At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he got close to the den, he started shouting, and when he got closer, he remembered he still had the stone over the door. So he removed the stone, shouted down, and said, "Daniel, servant to your God, did your God keep you alive?" Daniel answered, "May the king live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the mouth of the lion. They didn't hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done anything wrong against you." The king was very happy to hear this, and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. At the king's command, all the satraps were thrown into the lion's den, including their wives and their children. And before they even hit the ground, the lions killed them. Then King Darius wrote to all the nations in all the languages, and said, "May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions.